So Lisa, thank you for requesting some info on your website. So you have a beautiful website. It looks like you're selling some tea here. The first time I came into the site, I saw a full page email opt-in and I didn't see any text on it in particular, like to give me any context about that opt-in. I wonder if you're running ads, what that's doing to your ad conversion rate, and B, when people come to your site, if that's the first impression of you, how that has affected your bounce rate or the number of people who are coming to your site and then leaving. Now, I know that full page opt-ins are trendy. They work really well. I would just test what happens if you add some text to that or take it away. And also I would measure how many people are actually opting in versus bouncing, and how does that compare against maybe just a regular pop-up. So all things to think about and test. If you want to talk about it, I love conversion rate optimization, but this is about SEO, so let's continue with that. So one interesting thing I found is that Google is in essence trying to figure out who can be served during COVID and who can't be. And so if your store is completely shut down, you may see some decreases in traffic from Google. I don't think that's going to affect you here from what I can tell. And also this is totally reasonable. You're just telling people about things. So, beautiful header image. I love all of the social proof and the press that you're showing, and I like the best sellers. I think that the GIF or GIF with all the movement is really nice. You've got some info here, benefits, integrity, really cool. It shows your values first. I love that. And you have here, you know what's interesting is one time I came here and it showed Google Pay and now it shows PayPal. I wonder why, I don't know. And then I can tell that you want, you have me, you're lots of ways to get my email here or, get me to opt in or talk to you, which is cool. I wonder how that's going. And I like your Insta here. It's nice. So one thing I noticed in your footer is that you don't have a privacy policy explicitly linked in your footer. I don't know if this is legally required, but I have heard in my other companies that it is legally required in the US to have a direct link to your privacy policy. I've also heard of Facebook accounts, ad accounts banning you because you don't have a privacy policy. So maybe worth throwing that in there. So, all right. So I'm just getting a sense of your page or your website before we continue. It's so beautiful. I love it. I think that it's such a hard product to make beautiful and to show what it is that you're offering, and you've done that. So great work. And you have, I see all your products or some of them, and just because I don't know how many products you have. And then you have health benefits, which is really nice. I imagine you probably want to rank for that. And then you have your mission here. Now, you don't want to rank probably for mission or about, but one thing to note as you're building pages in the future, if you're building landing pages or whatever, is if there's, here you go. I think that might have been the opt-in I saw. Yeah, so I don't know your flow on that, but I would just watch that, I guess. So anyway, so I can tell you're on Shopify because of the URL structure. If you have a keyword, which is the word or the keyword phrase, the words that you want to rank for in your URL, you usually want to have that in your page title as well as in your first 120 words of your page text. And then you want your meta title and your meta description to also include that keyword phrase or the target keyword that you're trying to rank for. So I'm just gonna do this little search. It looks like you have 130 pages on your site, and then if I take away this HTTPS, you have, okay, it's still 130. Okay, cool. So that should be close, but maybe not exact. Oh, $199. It should be close, but maybe not exact, of how many, what you have in your, how many pages you have. So here what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that all of your pages are secure according to Google, and they are, so that's great. So now let's get into some keyword research and look at your SEO power. So I saw that you have a fairly good domain rating, and 25. I mean, that's you've got a little bit of clout here, and 141 backlinks from 64 different domains or websites, and you're ranking for 334 keywords, and you're getting probably around 100 to 500 organic visitors every month. Looks like you started end of 2018, so that's great. I would love to see you skyrocket in this next year. So let's look at the referring domains, where you're from, where you're getting backlinks. Awesome. Product Hunt, Crunchbase, Bustle, that's a great link to get. Brides, awesome. You're doing great. And when I look at your backlinks specifically, I see that it looks really natural, which is awesome. So keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on hustling and making relationships and getting features. So now let's look at the keywords that you are ranking for. So let's see. Oh, sorry. Organic keywords. Okay. And it looks like you are ranking for your brand name, which has a little bit of volume. Lotus Tea. Okay. So the first thing when I look at this, you can watch this video and find opportunities for yourself, is where am I ranking from 3 to 10? So that 3 to 10, apply. So that just means that, so let's see, it looks like Lotus Flower Tea. Okay, so it looks like you are right here, okay? And it looks like that your meta title is strong. I don't know if I would, or you don't necessarily need your domain here. I don't think it's doing anything for you. I think that's automated. I would just keep your brand name unless you prefer to show it that way for some reason, but I would just keep one and not both. And then the other thing, you have top 6 health benefits, great. In Egypt, lotus flowers represent rebirth in the afterlife. So one thing I would do is lotus flower tea. I would play around with this meta title and meta description and see if it affects your click-through rate, because and if you have Google Search Console, you can see specifically, oh, here we go. You can see specifically, where am I? Where was I? Sorry. You can see specifically where you are ranking for. Oh yeah. Okay, so Lotus Flower Tea 5. Okay, so now you're ranking 3, so that's even better. So this is all approximation. So looks like Amazon is beating you out, which they're hard, and so is Wikipedia, but you are like the first right after that. So that's wonderful. I wouldn't necessarily focus particularly on that term, and you can tell it's because you have these like huge websites competing against you. Now you can beat Amazon and Wikipedia and sites like that by having a lot of really concentrated authority in one specific area. So just to know. So I see this. Oh, wait, here. So we're looking here at the other places where you're in 3 through 10. So you're, in the bottom or lower half of this first page. So let's see if there's other opportunities here. Lotus Tea benefits, 200. Looks like you're getting 8 people. Okay, so because Lotus Tea, you're number 6. So this is your low-hanging fruit here. This here, Lotus Tea, you want to just really pack in as much authority towards this right now your Lotus Tea page, the benefits page, is ranking the top, which is the one we just saw. So for this, I would make sure that when you bring people to this page, you're actually converting them. In other words, the bounce rate isn't super high, right? You want to either get their email address so you can market to them later, or you want to send them to your product page. If you can do that, and then you can move your ranking from 6 to 1, let's just go to Lotus Tea, and then, oh, look, you're still doing really well. Okay. So I would still focus on, getting more authority there and trying to beat out these product pages, because you probably can, but it wouldn't be my number one effort. Okay, so why do I keep doing that? Okay, so here, let's look at other opportunities. So that's usually like a small one. Okay, so here, let's look at volume from 500 up. Okay, so here we have other opportunities. So here we go. So you can see you're ranking 27 for rose tea benefits. And this was so smart. The benefits section on your page, you're getting a lot of that's working. The only thing is you want to bring more power to it. So the way that you can do that is when you write blog posts in your journal, link to this page, and then make sure that you're bringing people through to your e-com site, like to the e-com portion of your site, and really try to get backlinks and then optimize this so that you are actually you have the right info on your page. There's something called Surfer, and if you want, later on we can talk about like on-page optimization, so you're giving yourself the best benefit. But right now I would just grab a little bit more because these keyword difficulties are pretty low. Generally I would like blue lotus flower, or silken sonder. I don't know what that is, but the benefits, like I think that's a great entry point for you, and I would keep moving towards that. Okay, so let's look at, let's see. You have your blog, which is beautiful. I love it. And I love that you're writing content for these things. One thing I noticed is like the recipes are very, very short. So my internet's a little bit slow, so I tried to load some things ahead of time. And Blue Lotus Orange Juice Mocktail, this is like a great image. I think you have probably made it yourself. I would give that time to shine by adding, maybe like you can show a video of yourself making the tea, or what does it look like when you're steeping the tea, that kind of thing. Your links to your product pages, awesome. The other thing that I would do, actually I just want to make sure you are, so that's a little bit of an interesting URL structure to me, and I wonder if that's okay. If you want, I can look at it later, but I know that's not. It's more technical. Okay, so I would add more content to this. So I just Googled the orange juice mocktail, and this is the number one result. So it's long, there's lots of imagery, and it talks about how to do it. It talks about what it means. This is probably going to get you ranked on Google higher up, as opposed to the shorter, just the facts. And I know that from the post, I saw you had something on your blog about lucid dreaming. I think that's awesome. You should, I think, add more personality and talk more about it. Not necessarily lucid dreaming, but what you're doing and what you think and how you would make the best one, and what it means if you steep the tea for 3 minutes or 2 minutes and that kind of thing. So if you ever want to know how to optimize a page for a search term, a good place to start is to look at what Google is ranking. And now you see that they have, these top ones all have this here, and that's called schema. There's recipe schema. So you would just here, I know I'm giving you a lot of things. I'm hoping that you will like decide what is most interesting to you, and we could go or we could talk more if you want, and or at the end I'll probably give you one thing you can do this week and to help things. So this is where you get the schema information for recipes. It's a little technical. If you have a web dev, they can help you. If not, comment in the group and I will help you. So that is an opportunity. The other thing is, when I saw that you were, let's see, so I just looked at Blue Lotus Tea as an example in the Keyword Explorer because I wanted a sense of where some opportunities might be. So I don't know this space very well. So I don't know if any of these terms, Blue Lotus Tea 1.1K, keyword difficulty of 7, I think that's something that I would, I know you're ranking for Blue Lotus, there you go. So you're ranking number 1 here. So I would actually try to rank this for Blue Lotus Tea. And you aren't competing with yourself on these pages. So if you have like a Blue Lotus category or a Blue Lotus Tea, like I would do that, but if not, I would just choose this page. And I mean, you, with the keyword difficulty of 7, you can 100%, let's see if I can find it again. Yeah, so you can 100%, like you can rank with this if you work for it. I would write something on Blue Lotus Tea, make sure you know you're linking specifically to that Blue Lotus Tea page. And I'm just gonna get rid of some of these because it's messing me up. And yeah, I really think the other thing I would, that you can do that, the other thing I would do is I'm just gonna Google this URL just to see what your, okay, so these statements have not been, okay, so once you're ranking, the second part of that equation is to make sure that a certain number of people are actually clicking through on that search term. So this, if I'm just Googling like Blue Lotus Tea and this page shows up, I will probably not click on this because it's not super compelling that it's basically not FDA approved. So I would optimize this, and the way that I would look for how to optimize this is just, again, to Google it. And I wouldn't use like the big authority websites. I think like World of Lucid Dreaming, let's see, probably that's a good one, you know. That's a great one. It's short, it's snappy. So, and then I would just maybe add more to the bottom of the product page, maybe, depending on what other people are ranking for. I'd like, you know, you have great user-generated content there. The related products are great. If you want, at the end, you could add a little bit more about it. And then the other thing is just to try to get featured elsewhere, like some backlinks on Blue Lotus Tea. And if you want to talk about that, I'm happy to talk about that too. And then the other thing I would do is write a blog post or a group of blog posts about Blue Lotus Tea and point them all to that one page. Because if you're trying to rank for one search term and you're pointing to lots of different pages, it diffuses the authority. So point to that one. I'm going to give you 2 more keywords that you can focus on, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, so lotus tea is another good one. Let's see here. Let's go to a different type of thing. So how about floral tea? That I think would be really interesting. So again, I'm just going here, and here we go. All right. Floral tea blooms. I don't know what that is, but again, low keyword difficulty, not too competitive, and 1.8K people. Let's just click into that. I'll look into that. Okay, so clicked 17%. So that wouldn't get you a ton of traffic. That just means that 17% of the 1.8K people actually click. So let's see. Flower tea. All right, yeah, this is good. This one's good. Flower tea. Who knew is better than floral tea? 28% click, which means a bigger portion. And then here, questions that people are asking is how to make passion flower tea. What is passion flower tea good for? Linden flower tea. I don't know if that means anything to you. Tea effect. Pea flower tea. That is super interesting. Butterfly pea flower tea. I'm gonna go to Google Trends and see if that is a new trending type of tea. And in fact, it is. So we have hit the gold mine jackpot for this one. Okay, so this is a great time to be looking at butterfly pea flower tea. If you can get this product, film a YouTube video about it if you feel comfortable. If not, write a really good blog post about it. And yes, so there's some video content here. It seems like this is really hot. And Bon Appetit, so they usually have really good content that, I've seen this before. So they usually have really good content that ranks really well. So if I want to rank, I'll look at what are the top 5 or 10 articles that are ranking, or things that aren't Amazon type sites that are ranking, and how do I create a better resource than all of that. So if you can do butterfly pea flower tea, or even like butterfly pea flower tea alternatives or something like that, I would totally jump on that opportunity right now. Otherwise, the other things we talked about were really good. And hopefully that gives you a good starting place. Let me know if you want to continue the conversation. Also, if you want me to write some content for you and like do some sort of affiliate relationship, I would maybe consider that. I just had this idea when I saw the Google trend, where basically like if I wrote content and helped you rank it, I would just take a portion of sales. But that totally wasn't my intention here. My intention is to give you some ideas of, clean up the metadata, the titles and the descriptions, and you can do that in Shopify really easily by going to here and then going to your product pages and then scrolling down to the very bottom, and you will see, here we go, you'll see it at the bottom where it says, so catwalk chair, for example, this is where you edit website SEO. That's where you edit that part that shows up in Google. And Google won't always listen to what you're saying, but for the most part, they do. So you can see this is exactly what I have here, minus the domain ending, which shows up automatically. So clean those up according to your search terms. Add that privacy policy to the footer or talk to your lawyer about it. If you want, do something with butterfly pea flower tea, and if not, then do something about flower tea or floral tea, and, you know, create content that is really good in your blog, link to specific pages or things on your page, and then or you know, specific pages on your site. And then the last one is to, you know, reach out, see like if you can get some links from, maybe there's some tea forums out there that are really good, or Quora, or, you know, blogs, or, you know, if you want, I can also help you with getting those backlinks. I'm not trying to make money here, but I would like you to see like just the effect of SEO, because I love it. So maybe I would I don't know, ask me if you want. Yeah. All right. Hopefully that's helpful. I know that was really long, but hopefully it's helpful. All right. Thanks. Bye.